Hello there everyone, welcome to another episode here on Settra Legendary Campaign 6.3. This is episode 14 and we're just checking in a lot of the items that we need. Let me just fuse some of these items. Gambler's armor, that's kind of better. Sometimes you can get better items, sometimes you can get better items from the crafting, and it's difficult to see which ones are best, you know? It's kind of like I note that at least I'm never going to too much on this. Okay, so Armor of Destiny, yeah, that's a good one. Doesn't have any abilities though, and it's kind of hot nowadays that you kind of need an ability there with the item, but I don't mind too much. Now I want that that Herald with King Jan Hansa, so that all of the Ushabti have frenzy. That's good. Now it doesn't show yet, but it will. So he has, why is he getting attrition? Oh, he has that chaos corruption stuff. Oh, that's right. So you're gonna go over here, just careful in case he needs to run away. I think I can go over to the Sea Corpse there. Yeah, and you need to replenish the troops. Oh, just going around, of course. But well, that lord is not going to go anywhere because that was actually nicely done by Tzeentch. Like the reinforcing army suddenly delayed because of it. I could attack that place, but it's completely a trap. Yeah, there we go. There's Hex's Wool Maker. Yeah, let's okay, that's two. So if I can, I'll just auto it, depending on how the battle preview goes. And especially if I get an ambush. If I get an ambush and then suddenly he attacks, I'm pretty sure that I can handle that easily. But mostly because I've seen way too many Tzeentch fights, I just want to fight something different. So I'm about to get, you know, I need 1,000 more, already have enough gold for an army dynasty. And really would like that. I have Ushabti, but I don't have Ushabti Great Bows. Ushabti Great Bows are actually not easy to come around, you know? Well, they're easy, but you still have to wait a little bit to have, you know, if you would have an army full of Ushabti Great Bows, that's kind of difficult. Yeah, I can definitely get that. Yeah, the Sphinx. I can get that. That's cool. So that's 4 armies here, 2 on the other side. I can perform that right. That's nice. The Tomb Swarm ability is really cool. And then I get some Canopic Jars for free. So that's awesome. Likely we're going to get enough Canopic Jars for a new dynasty very soon. Very, very soon. Did you notice my accent? My accent was there. It was just very, very not noticeable. Yeah, that's French, right? I was confused with the Germans, you know, with the German accent. I'm terrible at that, sorry. Okay, so we did fought against Kairos, and I guess he was thinking the same thing, but he brought in a very terrible army, so it was just a couple of auto resolves, and it's done. And he actually used the settlement transfer for Nahwandel. Let's declare war. I didn't want to, but at least it was transferred to a faction that it's a minor faction. It's not really that important. Imagine if this was Thorak or something like that. So let's get... I like the reduced attrition. I like the Winds of Magic there. So I'm not just checking for that. I'm also checking for those extra bonuses. Let's cleanse corruption here. Settra the Imperishable. Let's go. And let's see what we can do. Yeah, it's a Pyrrhic victory. I think I'll take it. Because I've been fighting a lot of these armies. That was a little bit more than what I would like. But I'll get replenished in no time. And then I can finish off the Tzeentch Likely they won't have anything to from now on. Maybe a battle or two more. I can fight it out, actually. Yep. And it does give me some casualties. I really wouldn't like that. So I think I'm gonna fight it, but off camera, actually. So, yep. Let's fight it out. And the outcome, pretty straightforward. It went down and it saved it. Now I can unlock a new dynasty, actually, because I got the canopy jars. And that's one more army. And this army is the one that I want to just take anything that I don't want, you know, from these forces. So there's still no more Ushabti. I'm thinking Bone Giants, yes. I gotta ensure that I recruit everything here that I can that costs just a ton of research, because that helps a lot. Especially because of how much research I have. I could actually go for all dynasties at this moment and open the whole tech, but I'm enjoying having the extra tech rate, you know? And it's not like I need absolutely all those dynasties, so for now I'm feeling fine. That's 2 turns for the corruption of that guy. And you already mopped up. There's another army there. Okay, we're gonna have to deal with that. It seems like he's building them here. Like, if I destroy this location, maybe the other places are more like econ focused instead of having military. So what am I gonna get? Wrathful strategies. Strategies would be nice. The Vanguard deployment always helps there. Master Ceremony, it's always nice. I'm thinking the Trustworthy. Yeah. And what are we going to go for is the Bone Giant. It's amazing that it costs a turn only, huh? And the Hero Titans. Yeah, and I don't want too much stuff. Maybe the Tomb Scorpions here, maybe not. Well, yeah, yeah, just those 4 units, because you're going to absorb and get all the units that I don't want from those 2 armies, so that they can have the army composition that I'm actually looking forward to. Yeah, and you have ammunition and missile strength, so you'd be a good one to have those Bone Giants. Yep, feeling good for King Hathacor here. Soon to get to tier 5. Do I want to go there? Do I want to trade the Sepulchre Stalkers? I'm wondering. I actually have not a spreadsheet, but a PowerPoint presentation where I have all the armies that I want and how to achieve them, how to reach them. Like I'll put stuff like, oh, this army needs to lose this and this and this and gain this and this and this, you know? I'll put the late game army that I want for him, and I'll just decide it from my templates. I'll say, I want this, I want this, I want that, you know? So yeah, easiest way, and by the way, this is a problem that I typically face, is that I want armies that are the most varied possible. But if you make only one template, it becomes much easier, because all that you need is always those buildings, and that's it, you know? Let's say that you go for Tomb Guards and Skeleton Chariots. Well, you know that you only need those 2 buildings, and that's it. And you can always build up the armies like that. Alright. I already am going for the tier 5. And over here, we're going just fine. Not a lot in terms of the research stuff. I've been getting a lot of bonuses here and there, but yeah, mostly for the heroes. So because I'm getting heroes for my armies, I'm getting actually a reduced rate, let's say, in terms of research of stuff that will benefit my army. Okay, I can actually get 1 more Ushabti. Now that's 3. That's a little bit better. You know, I wish I could get 4 at least. That's a good number. And King Hatagor, yeah, I want to get just the Tomb Guard for him. The rest is fine, except that Sepulchre Stalker. Yeah, and Tomb Guards I'm gonna need a few. So I already have some places going for it. That's is gonna be another great Ushabti Great Bow. There we go. Some more horsemen. I'll have a bunch of armies late game of just horsemen by the looks of it. You know, just reinforcing horsemen and that's it. Sort of the Fallen of Rohan coming to my aid kind of deal. So there's an army there, and that's not really too troublesome. And this one is also not too troublesome. Am I able to actually conquer Tarsumprinder at this moment? I think so. So that's a good development, actually. And I think I'm going to position Settra so that he can ambush. And the good thing is that I'm no longer, you know, suffering with the Tzeentch corruption. It's no longer causing me so much attrition, which is always cool to happen. So let's ambush a little bit more to the front. Yeah, I'm checking the ambush success chance, but I can increase that with the edict. Not eat it with the right for it. Let's go King Wakaf, conquer it. There's no casualties, right? Always double check. Sometimes there's some silly casualties. Okay, I'm gonna destroy this. I don't need so many skeleton horsemen, and I want to go for Tomb Guards there. Yeah, let's get the Vortex. But this one is so good. Melee defense and melee attack. It's like the two more important ones after, let's say, weapon strength, or, you know, they're really important to lower to the enemy, so that sounds cool. Finally, you're getting yourself together. And yeah, I finally can put the C there. That means completed, by the way, which means that I'm not going to have any changes to that army. It will just be replenishing the forces if anyone dies, but the structure is complete. Same thing here with Rakash in a few moments, as soon as he has the hero that he needs. Okay, let's approach the carcass, and that's a close victory, and I lose some troops, so in this case I'm going to fight it. So yeah, I wanted some different enemies. Let's just see how this sort of army behaves. We've played with Settra, but I don't have the vanguard yet here for these guys. So of course a front line of infantry, then a couple of lines of chariots that are going to develop, and the artillery is just on the back. And the priority targets are also always the missile infantry, especially those close quarters ones that are anti-large. Yeah, the Tomb King's artillery is quite underrated, I would say. They don't miss as much, they are quite powerful, they can do a ton of damage in the right situations. This is actually where they miss out a little bit. That's the barrage. It does decent damage. It's not exactly super damaging, but everything adds up, you know? That's the Tomb Swarm now. There we go. Unleash those little critters. Again, look at that. Suddenly his two more important units that can issue tremendous damage to my chariots are half health already. It was lagging a little bit, so I cut it up. Now we have to start hitting this mega monster of his, the Leviathan. And yes, people often tell, you know, that they don't use non-armor piercing missiles against heavily armored opponents, but you should totally. You know, it's not like it's going to cause the most. Shields are the counter to missiles, not armor typically. So even just a tiny little bit of missile damage can do quite a lot even to armored targets. Of course, it's not ideal, but don't be afraid of using it when you need, you know? That's my point. It's not ideal, but don't be afraid of using it. You need something to, like I do need now, something to deal with that Leviathan. That's the chariots with the missiles, and then I'll send my single entities to finish him off. Oh, the tide! It also disorganizes my troops, so yeah. That's good for their enemy melee to do some damage. In the meantime, my chariots realize that they can strike also, they can move. So even against pole arms they can do well, especially if they are in a not in the position to attack. And look at that. The chariots alone have gotten him to half health. Now I have a pole arm plus my lord and hero. They're about to join in. So yep, that's the end of this big monster. It's not going to do too much damage, which is all that we're here for. Even if your lord and hero are on a chariot, don't worry. They'll do enough damage to compensate, you know? It's more about getting a lot of targets to the enemy so that it overwhelms the leadership and then it starts crumbling away. Same thing here. Just give it some trouble, and as soon as the rest of the army starts crumbling, so does the Lord. So that's a victory. Pretty straightforward one, pretty easy one, but still it's important to have these victories whenever you're fighting, that you don't lose those units, you know? I often fight the battles that I would lose some units more than I fight the interesting ones or the big ones, you know, stuff like that. So, I don't anticipate a lot of armies from Tzeentch right now. I think the two that we're seeing are kind of like their last. Okay, let's move here. There we go, that's so that I can replenish. Let's get both. There we go, I have 2 skills so I can get both. And spread control. That's nice.
I do not serve you.
Settra the Imperishable in ambush. And then next turn, I'm gonna have to destroy that army, then push through to the other sides. Don't know if that's gonna be the best way. So King Hetekor, he's gonna go back and try to recruit some units. Do I have some Tomb Gods? I do not. I do not. Yeah, I'm just checking the potential army. It doesn't have any catapults or anything like that, so it's not like I can get those for now. That's not the army that I'm planning. If you want to give a look at the armies that I'm planning, just let me know, by the way, because I can always share them on a video later on. And I can also share how I typically do those. It takes some time, but it's very useful, especially to keep track of your own. Otherwise, you're always with armies that you feel like, oh, this is not the army that I wanted, you know? And that's never a good thing. That's why Doomstacks, for instance, are also very easy for a person, because they always know what they're going to aim to. So, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next episode, and thank you for the support of the campaign. Bye-bye.